that's needed for my highest good, aka the highest good. It looks so blinding here because I have my phone on like dark mode, but like let me put on my little witchy thing. I've had this for several years and I just found it, darlings. Yes. Yes, darling. All right, this is Stanger. Okay. So this is the preservation of something that is malleable. You know, I got the whole world in my hands, you know? Look at that. That's what's going on here. Um so the sustainer, as like they're saying basically, as the whole world is in our hands, me and my divine collective, and it being malleable, the ball is in our court. How interesting is that? A couple of sapphires on the sides. The void is bursting out from behind. This is 24. No. Yeah, 24. Okay. Although it's in like blue hues, I consider this like a happy feels to it. The even as it includes the void, because it's emitted like a starburst. I consider this a happy card. Okay, top of the deck, no secret to our sauce is the river accentuated. Do you know how weird this is? Because I didn't even like. Okay, so this is 34. And this is weird because like I did the boop-de-boop and the energy cards that came out were the Hunter on the left side and the Storm on the doing side, accentuated. How crazy is that with the river being accentuated on the top of the deck with the freaking horse. And you know, the storm, it always drains out into the ocean or the rivers. And so like how crazy is this? So this is obvious in our surroundings, or they're kind of, instead of us putting together the pieces of the puzzle, like, okay, this fits here, this fits there, it's like it's actually coming together like on its own into a bigger picture. So we're not having to like, I think it's because, you know, as a hunter, I hear a low pitch ringing here, so just give me a second to clear that, okay? Okay. Interesting. Actually, give me one moment. It's kind of messy here. Where's my bag? There we go. Then we shall get this thing. Put this thing on. Put that thing. Okay. Okay. I'm back. I have to crawl back in here. Frickety frick. Frickety frick. All right. Oh my gosh. Look how cute this is too. I got this at one of the last bazaars. The time before last. The land before lost. The time before last. Look how freaking cute these are. Oh, so freaking cute. I could not resist. Do you see these? Oh, shit. So good. Anyway, there we go. Beautiful again. I'm beautiful again. What was I gonna get here? Anyway, I think, where was it? Okay, so back to this. So what it's showing me is like the hunter well, it's something that's innate in our primitive mobilities. On on our masculine side, hunters, right? And that's on our recipient side, our intuitive side, okay? So we're surrounded by like people. We find ourselves in the things that we opt into, others have opted into as well, okay? Such as the event today. And what was I going to say about it? It was rather intimate. It was more like a family oriented one, but like that's not to talk down on it, because like what compelled me to get on here was hold on, give me a second. I need to be able to see here real quick. Oh gosh, so much light. Okay, maybe I should leave it. No, this is better. This is better. So yeah, what compelled me was, you know, like listening to punk, ska, or, you know, whatever, 80s and metal or whatever. It like we got to see like younger performers this time, and like even the little kids that were dancing. Oh my gosh, when Scooby started like spazzing out, so freaking cute. It made me like sob inside, like my eyes got all watery. I said, Tina, hold it. Don't do it. Get a hold of yourself. And so like I didn't mind how I might be perceived. Give me a second. Stupid fly. Give me a second. Let me just do something here. Okay. I'm back. Do you like that? Do you like it? We need it. So many spies around. Fug them. Let's clean you up here. Yeah. Okay. Clear us. This is so needed. Okay. Anyway, the storm is accentuated on our doing side. So, the energy is like not just calling the shots, but being a part of it. Like, throwing down with some thunder as needed. And this is not to like over accentuate anything. Sometimes like it, our life requires, our command, not just our inputs. And so it can come off very striking. And not to say that it's volatile, it's to prevent volatility from occurring or accentuating itself in our environment, in our world, let's say, okay? Not just for the fleeting moment. And so there's a sense of permanence in this. Like it's like we're the divining rod, the tower moment ourselves, you know, like very striking in our certainty. And with these two cards, it looks like the energy of, what is it? Like an eagle goes straight for the storm rather than flying away from it. So here, that it looks like our steering is very much like so. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like they're aligned if you just look at it like that, which is totally fine. It doesn't always have to align like it's pinpoint or anything. So it's kind of like a curveball because it's not our usual. It's not so exacting. But if I put it closer to the horse, it's kind of like headbutting it. It's almost like, you know, unicorn style. Like it's not an act of stubbornness, but stern in its matter of fact. So that's the energy here, okay? For me and my divine panel. I mean, for my divine collective. All right, so I'm going to use the Fairy Lights Tarot. or the Navigator's Tarot of the Mystic Sea. I feel like it's that. Or the Shadowscapes Tarot. Not the Shadowscapes Tarot. All right, they might change their mind, but let's go with that. Okay, so, winds. Wins for the weekend. Oh no, weekend wins for me and my Divine Collective. So now time to get the header cards for this. So today I didn't do how do I say it? If we're gonna look at like, okay, tell me in numbers, how did you do today? Well, do we count the future? Today was marketing for the future, okay? I invested in that. And meanwhile, I got one sale. It just be like that, you know, for everybody. And so the two girls that were right beside me packed up, and I didn't even like notice that they had left. I mean, when I scouted out like if I could be here or there, I wanted to be, I didn't want, like, it was a huge difference between being closer to the music than not. So I'm like, you know, if people really want a reading from me, they'll pre-book, or we can like talk, we can talk, you know, we don't have to scream our business out. So I figure I can manage, and I should at least have it enjoyable. So that was that. Oh yeah. So I didn't notice that the other two girls had like packed up and left early. So when I scouted the area, okay, I need to slow down here for a second to see what I'm trying to tell you. I told a person, like, energy matters a lot, and neighbors are a part of that. So even though that they weren't very friendly to me, I couldn't take that personal. You know, I'm to myself too, so it's okay if we're not chummy. They weren't assholes to me, but they were very much, I could detect a little, I don't know, they were just to themselves, okay? And I'm fine with that. But like, there could be multiple reasons in which they could have left other than what I'm about to state. But the fact that the patterning of the vibe beforehand and leaving early, like, just, it was like, I feel like they left way early. Like, it was weird. So anyway, some people think they're too good for things. Like, it's just like certain things are not worth it. But even with that one sale, I would have stuck through the whole thing just to see the kids like dance. Oh my God! Like, I had to get a hold of myself. I had my eyes were welling up. Shit, you know. So yeah, and then just like constantly improving my the presentation, and knowing where, you know, certain markets, like, I know that I made certain things, like a bulk of them, but they were not presented. Like, they were just like hidden off to the side. So, you know, you just have to keep, just like with location is everything, so is that with your product, amongst others. So you have to keep that in mind, your product lines, on how they're featured. Yeah. In order to ensure its success. So that's the fun part of marketing for me, and like doing like candid field tests rather than like pointing people to here, or yeah, it's just like that. But then there's also the fun factor of doing what I do in spirituality and knowing that energy attracts, like, exactly, you know, in its own accord. It strikes its chord. Oh, look, High Priestess. Why was it? Okay. High Priestess, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Death card, and Page of Swords in reverse. And then the bottom, I also got like midpoint of Fly. All right. Destiny. So the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. It fell amongst some things, but encircled by the charging cord. on the inbox side. So things are about to happen, but like there's also a detection of like negative energies about like, you know, like spies that take on the sentience of things that are irritating, you know, certain pests. And so that's what it's showing me here. Like they mean to cause a ruckus, not just, well, not just a ruckus, but like straight up death, like finding out any loophole that they can. Now, I feel like I was surrounded by, like, generally, especially the repeats, I felt like they were good. I felt like even the patrons of the local environment, dominantly good. I think that's why I enjoy punk type of families a lot. Like, they're my favorites. They're my absolute favorites. Absolute favorite. Like, oh my God, it's gonna make me cry. Shh. I don't want to do it. So there's that. So you know, as far as sitting and knowing these certain things, like, enough is enough. I am enough for that kind of energy. I know my divine collective knows that they're enough as well. We're in a certain phase of our life, which, like, so this degree of certainty is like we've grown to that level. It's not just like a gamble, like we just went in haste, like just there's something that compels you to that state of being. Like you can't just fake it. Like, okay, if they got there and did that, then maybe I can just shortcut it and just do that. No, there's no fakes here, because like it just doesn't work like that. So I didn't go around from vendor to vendor to chat, only because I really had to focus and buckle down on my own, because I think I was the only, maybe one of the only ones, if not the only one, that was, you know, going solo on this. And so, yeah, so there's that. And I have a tendency to romance certain situations. And so I just like to, like, it would be different if I were the event organizer, but I'm not, okay? So sometimes I forget that, because I used to do stuff like that, for an occupation. And now, like, I'm so glad, okay, this is a tangent, okay? But I'm so glad that I, was guided to schedule out my productivity in this manner, like just kind of cram 2 days before, so that I could kind of make the choice to pull back, and then relax even more and just go with the flow of things, because this was a learning experience on its own. I forgot to bring the bag of like all my like tarot stuff. And so I had to circle back before I got on the freeway, like just about before. And I was like, damn it. That's okay. Because it gets better and better every single time, with preparation, output, attitude, all of that. And what was I going to say about that? Oh, and on the way back, I'm like, Tina, what do we not do? We don't scold human error. We, like, you know, so it's just these are good practices, because, you know, like when shit hits the fan, this stuff becomes so like natural to regulate, to mediate, to enjoy as much as possible, you know, out of any situation. So that was great. That was really great. Okay. So I was a new school grandma and like, doing wire wrapping, but it felt like needlepoint. Like like I was a grandma doing needlepoint while the kids were dancing and just I was just, it just felt so nice. It felt so nice just watching them. I wanted to record them, but I just felt like maybe I might, it might feel, I don't know. I thought I might come off as a creep. I don't know. I don't, even though I'm a girl and I'm like, I could get away with it. I just know that if somebody else is a creep, I don't want to open the door for them. So, and I just, and I didn't know if anybody else that was filming was a parent to them. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not related to any of them. I haven't talked to any of them. But, okay, so just leave it. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Just like, how performers are like, can you please just enjoy the moment. Please put down your phone. That kind of thing. So that's what I did. Okay. The Empress card. Look at that. Look at that. Enjoyed it. Totally. I did. Knight of Pentacles. So, all right. So I was supposed to get the energy cards here from shuffling, but they just wanted to identify that these are also this is also an energy too. This is an attitude. This is an energy. Yeah, for sure. So as far as destiny goes, there is an attempt for destiny swap, like on the inbox here with the charging cord, like passing it off, like it should be an upright. We should be like going regardless of this bullshit. The Page of Swords in reverse with the Death card behind it. But it's like, it's weird because the Death card is prefixing the Page of Swords, whereas for us, the Arch Priestess or the High Priestess is the prefix to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Like, so this is on guard only because like it's protected within our blood with like, it's just ours. Just as the energy of being unstoppable, this is like an unpoppable bubble. Like our bag is unpoppable. Okay, that's just ours. Okay, so whereas the Page of Swords in reverse is leading with death. Do you see the energy there? Like, what the fuck is that? So anyway, this is in reversal to kind of like to pass it off. Like, oh, you know what? That fork isn't clean, like you're just sat at the table or whatever. The waitress is like, oh, you know what? That fork isn't clean. Let me swap it out here for something that they like laced with some poison or whatever. And they put it out there. It's like, and they have the audacity to like dumb you down to think that you'll pass for it. And to get the thank you, like right underneath your nose. What kind of bullshit. How crazy is that? So anyway, we tense it right back up. And okay, we shove this back in. But right upside up, okay? So we put them in timeout into a transformation unit, okay? La-ti-da. Wait. Oh my god. Frick. They were having a fit. Okay, so my finger went to this, which is the Ace of Pentacles, but it opened up to this, which is the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. So that's the best thing to do. So what I did was I got some special protection oil and I drew some runes, and it like, that's the only thing that got rid of that fly. Seriously. So what, I'm going to read all of these down here. Psst. King of Wands accentuated in the Page of Pentacles. I think I have some big figures here that just walked in the energetic door because like, what is this? Like, what the heck? I mean, King of Wands is not bad when it's accentuated. But they're very known, okay? The contribution is just as soon as they walk in the door. Page of Pentacles. They don't need to even say a word. Just their presence alone. I'm here. Pentacle for everyone, First drinks on me. And then there's two stacks, but let's get this one first. Hierophant accentuated, Strength accentuated, Two of Wands accentuated, Queen of Pentacles accentuated, Four of Wands accentuated, Five of Pentacles accentuated in its like reversal sense, Ace of Cups accentuated in its reversal sense, and Six of Pentacles. Do you know what accentuated? Do you understand? There are big figures here. Like, they mean something to the community, to their people, to their grouping. Like, not just for like, okay, not for anything like petty. This is substantial stuff. Not to say like, oh, these are black card, people. I mean, they could be, but I didn't. Maybe this particular one is like higher. Like, dude, this is excellent. This is to have the Hierophant followed up by Strength and like the certainty of Two of Wands. Like, do you understand? Like, and then like big balling like type of Empress, like in business. Also a mother, like, who takes care of her home, and there's no lacking in that. Like, very well celebrated, and that reciprocates. This is actually like a married couple right here, if not a great partnership that locks down their home, not just because of like, oh, how it looks for everybody, but this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay, and then down here, oh my god. Okay, is the next set over here. So Velocity, Eight of Wands, and then Queen of Swords in reversal, and the Moon card. So for this one, there's this someone that has a lot of knowledge, maybe telepathic or has dormant telepathic abilities. If not like some kind of like, she can be very strict, be very cutting with her words, but I would say it's the dominant energy here, because of this prefix, is especially with like the Moon card right after that, in upright, it's someone that doesn't say everything that they know. Okay, they will communicate, right? But there's also Anubis energy here. This is somebody that's an athlete with their words. You see, like, they a word athlete, almost like very dexterous with their words. So they don't like to have to speak it with like big words or like fancy words. They can. They have the vocabulary for it, but that's not like the way they usually go. Their words are impactful, so they carefully select how they communicate. And they don't communicate everything because they know the dangers of saying too much, maybe to the wrong person. And it's not like to say like saying the wrong person is always somebody that's bad, but somebody that like maybe has like loose lips, or and someone that like would be less experienced in life, that not just saying that they would divulge something to somebody that gossips, but just they know. This is kind of like Yoda energy. Yeah, I feel like that. This is very much like Yoda, but like feminine and experienced. Yeah, so some people just popped in here that are of this energy. Maybe they just maybe because normally I don't get this, and normally I think it's for a multi-benefit, like for one to know that like I am expanding upon my crowd as far as visibility. Like not everybody has to be like following me or subscribing to me, but there's just the fact that something drew them to here for more than a fleeting second. is something that I should know personally, but dominantly speaking, I think that some people kind of want to feel out my energy. And so the confirmation of this telling, like, I carded you without you pulling your card out of your wallet, that kind of energy. So some people, like for me, when I go to readings, sometimes I like to know how good of a reader somebody is, not just like first, if they can get the characterization correct, and if there's any like hearsays involved, that they'll read it, but they know the stopping point, and they know how to autocorrect, like, oh, but no, this is what they think, but that's bullshit, that kind of energy. So there's that. Okay. Okay, now the header cards. Boop. 3, 2, 1. Cheese. What is it? Okay, so weekend wins for me and my divine collective. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles right there on the left side, okay? It's called generation. Okay? That's the recipient side. Okay. All right. So the universe is pitching some balls out there. Okay. I don't I don't know the seasons, so I only know if I am informed by people. Like, the media is not enough coverage for me to say, like, what sports season it is, because I think some of them overlap. And sometimes I get mixed up with, like, I think there's a staggered season between high school, college, and professional. So I just don't know. But I think they said the Dodgers game was on. Not just any other, but like the first world season or something, like weird series. Anyway, at least I'm honest. Okay, so it's pitching, okay? The universe is pitching a ball to us, okay? It's a good one, okay? They're good opportunities. Because we're standing like on the brink of something. Like toes on the nose. Toes right there. The left toes. Okay. So left toes. You see like how it's almost like quicksanding. To here. So there's like on the brink of something. Okay. Yeah. And we don't really realize it because we're focusing on the motions of things. But through the sands of time, everything is pointing towards like this, on the brink of something. Left side. The right side is 4 of Cups. It's labeled as discontent. However, what did they call this? Apathy. It's traditionally known as apathy. Apathy is a big fancy word for me because I don't normally use it. So I dub it as jaded, okay? As like, God, another multiple choice question, or like just feeling disinterested. Just because I'm disinterested doesn't mean I'm discontent, okay? Just sometimes like that's not for me, okay? But the weird thing about this is that there's kind of like a new boat is coming, like a voyage. So there might be a trip for some of you that might lighten up some things. It doesn't have to be like out of the country. I mean, it could be, yeah, no. I get this more as like, there's more like a lake type of energy here. So it could be something local, but maybe a couple hours out. Yeah, a quick step out. So these are the header cards here. But this is, I feel like, is a saving grace. Like, someone also voyaging happens to drop by and like, hey, what are you doing here? And you're like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm just out, I decided, like, I don't know, something just called out to me, and I thought, it's a nice day and I should, go paddle out. So this is interesting. So there's, what I'm getting here is that there's certain opportunities that come like almost like sporadically, just at random, it feels like. Because you did something random as well. Or we did. Um, hmm. So it changes up the patterns of things, which means that there's definitely change coming. Okay. Weekend wins. Okay. So, there are many people who, so let's, okay. People who have extreme wealth, um, are also, at the whims of discontent if things get stale, bored, same old, same old. So, so this weekend win, one of them is, changing up the pattern and knowing that it's bringing something almost immediately different into our lives. Okay. Like, I thought I was just gonna have to suck it up today, but then until I saw the kids, like, holy freaking moly. Good. Let's hide here for a second. But it was like, during dark, so I had like these bright lamps out, and it's like, oh my god, they could see me welling up a little bit more than usual. And yeah, I felt like if I just smoked out just a little bit, I would have been a little bit more helpful, because one of the youngling bands that was playing, well, they were not well lit, so when I turned on my lights, I felt like it was taking away energy. But then I had a good lamp so that I could blare it on them, but I thought it was going to blind them. I thought I was going to distract them. I know that if I just smoked out just a little bit, just a little bit, that I wouldn't have like second guessed it, and it would have been helpful. Like, I think it would have been helpful. I don't know. I've never really been a performer like up on stage, so I don't know at which angle it would be beneficial versus not. So anyway, I didn't want to floodlight them. Okay, Tina, stop being so hard on yourself. All right, weekend wins. That's what people are here for after 37 minutes and 58 seconds. Weekend wins for me and my Divine Collective. Let's get it. We're halfway there. Okay. And we get Knight of Swords, then the Nine of Wands. What is going on? There's like a communication clash. It's a clash of the titans. But you see, like, do you see the imagery here? Something's moving quickly, but it's in opposition. Like it's facing whatever's happening here. And I think that a fraction of you, my collective, are like at like in a combative type of energetics, like with some other energy. But I feel like this is more of my Divine Collective, and like they're just showing up. They're just doing their freaking thing, okay? Like, I'm showing up here to say something, whether it's behind a podium or not, or behind a table or whatever, to claim my territory. And so, you see, we already talked about that Eight of Wands here, and the ninth one right here. Like someone's either sleeping or down. Oh, you know what? I'm just noticing also, there's also a fraction of, some people are really, really tired, like exhausted, sleepy, tired. So they show up regardless. But they find like whatever it is to get them a second wind to manifest this. Because they need this. Do you see this? It's like, I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. I don't know what she says, but there's a full moon there as well. Yeah, there's a combative energy, like you see this, that's either a white eagle or a seagull. And I'm getting like mine, that kind of energy. Or that's the message that I'm getting here. But there's also something about, you know, things are moving quickly regardless. So this energy is almost like irrelevant, but it's also, if it's going to be relevant, it's going to be supplemental in its manifestation point. So as we show up, this is what I noticed here. That's why I didn't pack up like early. Is that when we show up, when we're doing our thing, and whether it's tough to do it, or like some parts are tough and some parts are like, I'm just going through it. I'm just you know, I'm not going through it like doing the damn thing, okay? There's something that happens where it's like, this is transmutation energy in the ethers. There's you know, when there's shit happening, like when there's somebody's trying to throw shit your way, whether it's directly or by proxy, or indirectly, because by proxy it could be directly or indirectly. You know, they could get practitioners, they could, you know, whatever, people stop by or whatever. They can get people to stop by, they can get people to pull strings or whatever. So that's what I'm saying, whether it's directly or indirectly, through self or by proxy, there's some kind of manifestation that we're doing here on this level that transmutes energy. So as it pushes us along, like it feels like an inch, it's actually a mile because of what shit is going down here. So as they're putting energy into like trying to fug shit up, we don't just have our own and like our collective or community or customer or whatever, but also the added bonus of transmuting their energy and adding it to our plate. So that's what this is. You know, like it doesn't feel like very much, like, you know, like it, like I don't feel like I didn't feel like I had anything to complain about today. But at the same time, it was like, okay, well, let's, it wasn't like, let's set expectations low, but it was, let's just see where this day goes, you know? And because it's better that I'm here than if I'm not, because they've already, you know, I know that for this particular thing. And, so they're pitching, and, we're hitting almost like a home run, but it's like, everybody's in on this energy where like our team, there's like a team play where it's like, I don't know how it happens, but we achieve the home run, and more than in a singular sense. But so it's it's kind of like a trade, or like, yeah, it's like a trade mid-season. Like somebody's like entered into the plate, but it's like, oh, you fucked up, you know. So we get the trade in, like, because our customer or whatever comes through, and it's like, oh, you just got drafted. You like you just got moved into someplace else. What is this? What? Hold on, I don't even know what this is. Four of Swords. Where did this come from? Oh, maybe it fell from here. Anyway, Four of Swords, accentuated, Five of Swords, accentuated. Yeah, so we win. Nine of Swords, there's a huge emphasis here. Four of Swords is the need for healing. And then Five of Swords is like we won the war. I mean, maybe there were some bruises, whatever. We heal from it. But now they have to heal. So it's like, you've been told. You just... you just fucked up and we didn't have to waste a breath, okay? There's clear emphasis on that. Okay. Knight of Swords in reverse. So there's a focus on the charging of it, yeah. So there is a focus now. Instead of things moving quickly and in haste, you know, whatever, we've transmuted that. And so our focus is now on the base, you know, the of where it starts, the energy, where things initiate. So we're back into our control seat. Yeah, it's like, so weekend wins. This is great. This is excellent. This is good because I think some people are not tired of hearing it, but like, we just need to hear something different, something more inspiring, okay, than saying that, okay, before we can receive like our massive financial gains, or something that's like, oh wow, you're famous, or this and that, you know, something like you're living large, kind of energy. They have to clean slate all of like that bullshit energy, so they're not like riding on your coattails, or, you know, they don't have any pull towards your new wins. Okay, so we need to hear something a little bit more inspiring, and this is excellent, because it proves us to be capable of managing what's to come, because they say new levels, new devils, and it's like, this is a prefix so that it mentors, grooms us to be more certain, you know, and moving forward with what we need to move forward with. Okay. My feet smell slightly like vinegar right now. Slightly. So they slightly stink. That's okay. I worked. I worked. Yeah. All right. Anything more? Yes? No. No. I think we're good there. We're gonna cut the deck for some fun. 7 of Wands in reverse. So, it's, I think any ordinary person would say, like, if you gave them the numbers and like, oh, that's kind of humbling, you know. Oh, you're a good man. You're a good person. Keep keeping on with the fight. And then, you know, the big wigs, the people that I would say that are worth idolizing, they would say, dude, you humbled them. Just being who you are, what you did today, without investing like in their BS and mirroring that, you humbled them. In our personal sense, we could look back on everything and say, yeah, it's great moving forward without being so defensive. Like, we know we have the upper hand, but you know what? This is the upper hand, okay? We don't, like, sometimes you just have to roll up your sleeves and you do the work. Like, usually there's a person like on a higher ground, and they're fighting whoever's, you know, down beneath them, so they have the vantage point. So sometimes the advantage is just like rolling up your sleeves and doing the work, like just kind of like you know, like how Princess Jasmine, like aesthetically speaking, she wanted to be like one of the commoners, just to go out there and just, you know, so that's in its like visual sense. But this is just like, the work needs to be done. The work's not going to get its, you know, get done by itself. So I'm better invested here. This is going to give me the one up, than having to like waste energy on fighting off people who claim to be victors or had their glory days that are, you know, now expired. So that's that. Okay, I'm going to put that right on top of the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Swords accentuated. Amen to that. Page of Swords is now upright. Look at that. We're learning. We're learning. We're growing. And now we have a crane. Or is it? Yeah, I think it's a crane. Coming up to us. You know how magical it is to see a crane? Especially like when you're scaling mountains, you see? Anyway, the top of the deck, no secret to our sauce. 5 of Cups in reverse. We said bye-bye. We said bye-bye gracefully. Okay, that's our weekend win right there. All right, now we're going to use the Fairy Lights Tarot for your takeaways and then for my takeaways, okay? Oh, shit. Whoopsie. It was a cabochon that fell. And I think this is like a Madagascar opal. Actually, I don't remember. I really don't remember. I think, no, it could be some kind of a Jasper, dude. What the frig? Hold on. This is a good quality one, though. I mean, you could get shitty quality Jasper, and it's still good, you know, like we're still really good. But like there are some like lower quality gems or stones or whatnot where you can tell that they're not, you know, top of the line. But you can get away with Jaspers, I feel like. But this one, I don't know why I would get a Jasper from this person that it has high quality stuff. So I think I was scrying into it, or it's like a specialty one, like Madagascar opal. I feel like because that's the last thing I heard him say. Anyway, I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay, 9 of Pentacles on the bottom. All right, so now for our takeaways. No, what the heck? So then what? Weekend wins. Is that, do I continue? No. So then what do you want me to ask here? What, do you just... This is an FYI. Because fairies are elementals. Anything that's really of the earth is, has long existed before us in another dimension, in other dimensions, you know what I mean? So it's like, we can't put an age, we cannot carbon date, like we cannot, exact, how old they are or the experience pertaining to them because they exist in a different light. So they would know what it takes to produce something to manifest in this world, you know. So this is an FYI. 9 of Cups, satiety. Okay, so this is accolades. Okay, wait, why is it like this? Hold on. What the heck? What? Wait. Oh gosh, Tina, what the heck? Okay. All right, what just fell down? I think it was the top of the deck. 7 of Wands, accentuated. So these are, again, accolades. Like the 1-up version for them. This is the advantage. Like, you're certified. You are welcome to the table. To our table. So, okay, so FYIs. Eight of Swords. This is I'm getting stay where you are. This is usually like it means something else traditionally. It's like you feel like you're stuck, but you can get yourself out. This is like, you know, being on the threshold, like you get like a little early and they're like, you can either walk to the light or you can come back. There's like standing on the threshold again of that. So this is, with that in mind, it's like, you can stay here in this energy. You can play dead. Like you're dead to some people, but that's only because they're dead to you. Like you decided that before they just, you know, before they created that alibi for you. So again, they're trying to steal, but it's like, whatever, it's irrelevant. at this point. So they're saying just like, you know, it's good for you to stay in this energy, to kind of like cut off some ties for now, like to not be so reachable to everyone. So here I'm seeing that it's like you can play dead here. Like I think this is a unicorn. It's like, but it's, yeah, it's a unicorn with like a baby unicorn thing here. Like the baby hat. But you see, I don't know if you can see it as well. Hold on. But the swords, like the arrows on its back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, hold on. It's 8 of swords. Yeah. In its back. Yeah, that's crazy. Like they tried. They tried to like kill a unicorn. What the fuck? So if those contacts ever show their face again, ever come back, even like energetically, through a reading, through hearsay, through whatever, they should remain dead to you, okay? To us. Because they shot at, you know, your unicorn, our unicorn status. The tail looks like it's a snake dipping down to drink some water. This is the first time I noticed that here. I don't know why though. I don't think that's a bad thing though. Yeah, again, like there's something sly, slithering about this type of energy in which like you can play dead. It's probably good for you to play dead, or us to play dead. We're in a good place. We're in a far better place than we used to be. And if they think you're dead, they're not going to come after you again. Like it's going to be a huge lapse of time before they even think about coming back to you. Yeah. There's something about how these waterfalls defy gravity. You see, like it's falling upwards. So there's something uplifting in this as well. Okay, that's an FYI. Any more FYIs? Okay, let's check this out for just a second. This fell again on the, actually the connecting point between the extension cord and the charger base. 7 of Pentacles in reverse. There's a connection, electrifying connection that that's helping us like bring in the stuff. What the heck? This is harvesting, right? That's that's the jackpot. But the fact that it fell like a float, let me show you again. A float on here, you know, so it was like sitting straight, like table level, like that. With that card in mind, it's an electrical connection, because usually when this is being used, like it gets really, really warm right here. Yeah. So that's interesting. That's a big FYI. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Wands. Yeah, communication, even more so. Like, see, like windfall energy. I wanted to say that here, but just because there's harvesting doesn't mean, like, that was an intuitive thing, not like, this has to be paired up with something else for me to like firmly say that, especially with this kind of energy here. Like I don't want to say anything until I have backup energy, and that's the backup right there. Like freaking windfall. That's crazy. What's behind that? Oh shit. It is, I think it's the king of something. Cups. Yeah, so there are intuitive males here, or you know, like I would say like psychic energy. You see, like, oh my gosh, windfall. Do you see that? Do you understand? This is the first time that I've seen this card and noticed, you know, the rays of light coming down like that. That's freaking insane. That's insane. they might be into cougars. Like, you know, they might be with somebody that's older than them, like even just like by a couple years. But then that's funny. Knight of Swords again. It's coming down like quick. Like actually this is focused energy. What's showing up beneath there, and I don't know what's there, but like I think that's a High Priestess. Oh my gosh, it's a High Priestess right behind there in reversal, and the Empress in reversal right there. That's the Empress, and then it just like just the way I was holding the deck, and then the High Priestess in reversal. So but I feel like this is more me in the background. Like I have to be objective. I can't just be like, blah, this is what's going to happen to you. Because energy shift and change. So like when I feel like a hint of like, what is that? What is that energy? Why did it feel, why did it first say yes? And then all of a sudden it wasn't no, but it was like, there's something else. But then I can't dig into people's lives. I mean, I'm not, you know, that's not my thing. Unwarranted, and so I just like have to stand back. And so with this, it's like the drop down, focused. Like there's also communication that I'm delivering to these kind of energies here. You see, like just isolated to who needs to hear it. Anyway, okay, that's an FYI. Top of the deck, no secret to our sauce is 5 of Pentacles. This has to do with resourcefulness. I mean, if we were lower vibing, this would be straight up like lack mindset. Like, and so there might be like a smidgen, like a very, very smidgen, like a little tiny sprinkle of that left in our lives. But you have to concentrate on that, and you don't want to give it that much energy. If you catch it, and you just shift it. That's it. So there's resourcefulness in this. Like, you know, you have, like, the world has trained you enough to see what you have can be used straight up for this or transitioned into that. Okay. Energy is transmutable, and therefore beautiful. And so therefore, what are you going to say? So, in knowing like the whole world in your hands kind of energy, malleable, the ball's in your court, you can do with what you got. There's something about, what the heck was it? Being an alchemist. That's what that is. Right behind it to back that up is 3 of Pentacles in reverse. This is 8 of Pentacles in total, so it's putting the work in, okay? This doesn't show immediate direct results, okay? Because it's adding to that bulk, okay? So we're adding, I'm hoping that it's not like Costco version. Like we have to wait till that. But these are direct investments to self. This is like a learning, what is it? Learning techniques. That's what it is. So let's say you're a teacher and you're showing people like what they signed up for, you know, the direct stuff, okay? But then, you know, like as you become more well versed, there's like, okay, I remember when I took sewing as like an elective, like fun thing, whatever, in one of my college classes, so I could transfer back. That's what it was to anyway, it was like a 3 or 4 hour class. Fuck, that's crazy. Every week, and even though it fell on a weekend, it was like just like so forever. Like, why do they have classes this long? This is ridiculous. Or you have to have a lunch period in between. Like, what? No. So anyway, okay. So you have different levels of that. And so that's what it's showing me here. We're becoming more well versed. So the investment is of a personal vantage point. It's like, you know, when you're standing in one place at the beach and it's like, it's scenic, it's great, it's fantastic. You don't have anything to complain about. But the sand is slow and the tide is slowly shifting you out, out, out. Same thing with this investment is up, up, up. And so, just as you are teaching other people different techniques and how to handle and maintain, whether that be part of your family, blood or not blood, that's energy that's, you know, benefiting, you know, the ones that are currently surrounding you. Yeah, so there's nothing negative here other than the fact that, like, if you go back to lower vibing sense, you're like, well, fuck, how am I gonna pay that bill? Okay. For me, in my environment, the universe so far has been pulling little bits of fakes. So, like, Verizon from, like, way back, and, like, you know, I told you about that on the last reading. Like, why are you all of a sudden coming? Like, dude, like, next time, like, what do you call it? There's a sense of permanence, like, fuck that brand, you know, that kind of energy. Like, you better, like, leave me the fuck alone. That kind of energy, you know, just like straight up, it's always going to be a no from here. That's the energy. So it's like there's some of that, like, kind of pulling fakes to make you worry about the bigger stuff when the bigger stuff isn't the one that's, like, on your ass. That's in my world anyway. And so I would gauge that for my divine collective as well. Yeah, because look, shit. I'm noticing the colors are very much in the same kind of alignment as this. So yellow, yellow, orange, orange. So that's what it is. Okay. So the communication doesn't. Okay, I had to look at it, like, straight up. Okay, that's why there's pause. The universe is, you know, when they're throwing their pitches, it looks like they're communicating things that, like, are like small beans. But you know, like, we're at a level where it's not like, I thought I was better than that, you know, that kind of, you know, like, I don't think there's any stank face tied to this. It's just like, okay, we'll go with it. We'll run with it. Okay. And we'll go with this ration. And then so we king it up, this King of Cups, you know, kind of thing. And usually the King of Cups does not. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the King of Cups doesn't usually, like, have a pet by him, but the fact that he has, like, a tiger kind of energy here, that's like the Wands energy. That's a fire energy. So it's either this could be, like, what do you call it? LGBTQ kind of energy, or this could be, like, you know, just saying, like, he could be babysitting the either the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands familiar, and more likely the Queen of Wands familiar, because usually the Queen of Wands has a cat by her. Yeah, okay. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. It's like, behind the scenes, the the King of Cups doesn't like to have, like, same type of energy. They like to have, like, kind of like be amongst, like, opposing type of energy. How funny is that? They can handle it. Okay. So anyway, okay. So so you're kinging it up, right? You're king me, that type of energy. Then so the universe is dropping you, like, oh, you're looking at it like, oh, that's a nice pentacle. That's a nice pentacle. That's a nice opportunity. That's a nice partnership. That kind of thing dropped right before you. And this is great because, like, everybody's like, oh, you know, like, the surrounding crowd that would bullshit you. They're like, oh, that's what they got. Ha ha ha. So they're laughing or whatever. But it's like a fake. It's a fake thrown by the universe, thrown exactly how it should be, because you're like, oh, they have no idea that that it's actually this. They have no idea that it's actually that, you know? That's what's happening. So that's your weekend wins. That's the, what did they say that? The FYIs. My FYI crew is here. Okay. Okay, focused energy. Okay, so now it's time for our takeaways. Yes? Yes, it is, because I want to create more. I want to create more. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, 2 takeaways for representative of my divine collective here. Yes, from here. Your first takeaway is Knight of Cups. There's romance in the air. So there's a sense of like nostalgia here. This is the Emperor. Okay, if you saw the Emperor in this deck, you would know that this is the youngling version of him. So either you have like a youngling version of you that's like, that like it invigorates you, not to have to like, you can live vicariously in that youngling's life, but you don't have to like take over and be like that kind of helicopter, like, no, I'm the driver type of, you know, like that kind of energy. So if you don't have a youngling that you have around you, this is like a youthful energy. Like an emperor is so serious. Like that's a boss of bosses. And so it's kind of like when after Frodo lives through like so much, he can no longer go back to his like old life, because it's like it's been a lot, and so he has to move on to like basically the heavens. So that's what the emperor is on the norm after dealing with so much. So this is actually nice. This is like you're getting your teeth whitened kind of energy. Not like Ross and Friends, but yeah, you see, spry motherfucker. That's good. I just heard that. What the heck? I don't ever say that. I don't say those words. Okay, your second takeaway is, yes. Oh, 2 of Swords in reverse. You're not blocked at all. The roads are clear and free for you. Free and open, yeah. Look at that. Like, charge! So there's like a sense of nostalgia in here. Like you can, it's not just go time. It's like, let's go time. Yeah. So this is good. This is a feeling that's more like intimate. This is not like, so maybe people who are in touch with just going with the flow of things can bring that out to their external environment, like that external expression. But more so, like, people are like a little bit more, let's be a little bit more patient with this energy. It's like, I can digest this, but like, I don't want to jump the gun right now. I just want to like, I'm applauding it, like I'm enjoying it to myself. Okay, that kind of energy. Okay, so there's just your takeaways. So no clarifiers needed. But I do want to get one of these cards as your like archetype for this. Okay, I mean like your new attitude. Okay, you get 2 here. Oh, look, the Eternal Child in reverse. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, and the Temple accentuated. Yeah, so this is moving along with purpose. The Eternal Child is like the ball's in your court, you know. But this is also objective. So yeah, you're very like, you feel it, you see it, but it's private energy. So like, you know how sacred that must be kept, so that I don't know, you just need to have, there's a reason to protect that type of energy from being all let out in the loose, because at this stage, no one else would really appreciate it as much as you do in this stage. So there's something sacred about that. Okay, the Temple, it's yours. It's yours. The world's in the palm of your hands. Okay. Yeah, Wu-Chang. All right, so my 3 takeaways. First one, Temperance. Look at that. Look at my pool. Tractor. There's in walk the jellyfish. But yeah, look. Interesting. Okay. Let's get this into context. My second takeaway. Oh yeah, there's something like pulling DNA. Like, you see? You know, like how Katara learns how to become a bloodbender? This is like learning how to read people inside and out, like from the very nitty-gritty, their DNA. Like, oh, your DNA says this. You know, did you know, like Ancestry.com, this is Tina's version of it. Oh yeah, okay, objectivity. So it was good not having to, like, you know, rub elbows with people, and visiting everybody and saying hello, or, you know, this is okay. I didn't have my nose up in the air, but at the same time, I really wanted to just enjoy, like, how to make the most out of my time and just be chill, rather than trying to figure out, okay, what's on this person's agenda, or I could clearly see this. Okay, you know, somebody trying to talk in my ear, trying to feel, you know, like, no. So people honored that, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, my third takeaway. Judgment in reverse. Yeah, I was gonna say something about that. Some people don't. Okay, let's not mistake this energy. Okay, some people honor it, and some people want to avoid me, you know, stepping on my toes. That's what it is, upsetting me, because it's like, oh, you like, oh, you want to play like that? Okay, here's your judgment. You know, here's your karma. That kind of energy. So, having 3 major arcana here is starting off with an X, like 10, straight up. Especially when we got 24 up to the 34, the storm, and then I don't know what 34 was. What was it? The river. Yeah. Oh my God. The freaking. Okay. So look. I think 24 was the storm. Oh no, that wasn't it. What was 24? I'm trying to get it. Oh shoot. 24. What the fuck? Where did I get 24? The heck? Did I just misread that? There's no way I could misread that. No, there's no way I could misread that. Anyway, 24 went to the 34. So the difference is 10. I wanted to call that out. Oh, 20. No, where's the 34? Oh, 34 and 24. So the difference is the 10. I wanted to call that out, but like, I was like, who the fuck is going to care? Well, it's showing up over here, because like now seeing it's like, it starts off with the X, with the X, with the X. So it's like destiny. Like you're undoubtedly, indubitably, where you need to be. So equilibrium, yeah. Destiny right there. And so like, yeah. That's 3 strikes you're out kind of energy. Yeah, that's yeah. So there's like an area of caution. Like, you should pause and think before you step to me, especially if you have ill intentions. Always, actually, if you have ill intentions. That's yeah, definitely. Yeah, so without looking at the X's, there's a pun in there. There's 4, 2, and another 10. So 4210 is a hidden encrypted angel number here for me. For my expanded my divine panel, or my divine crew, here, it's 2. So interesting. 2 is balance, partnerships, harmony. I feel like you can look it up on numerology. 4210 is an angel. Okay. Anything else? I'm supposed to pull one other card to further explain judgment. The devil card in reverse, another prefix 10. So 5. Yeah, it's definitely laying down the law. So if we're just going to isolate past the X, the 10 number, then I have 5 here. So that would be the Hierophant in reverse. You know what I mean? This is like turning the tables. You know what I mean? Like, are you sure you want to do that? And then you just like kind of talk about like destiny swap. I learned how to do that a different way. You know, that's crazy. All right, that's it. I mean, that's 4 major arcana straight up. When there's only like, what, 21, 22, if you're counting the Fool card. Out of like, you know, that's crazy. All right. Okay, so what's my, archetype, my wild, soon to be known archetype, or newly known, soon to be known, newly known archetype, the king. King me. 12 again. Points to this. I was gonna say I should probably get a clarifier for that. I'm like, let's not go extra. They did extra anyway. Being objective in like your king me status. Okay, so they're saying refrain from. I need to refrain from seeing how other people judge me, especially if they're like winners as well, because this is not meant to create any animosity nor rub it in people's faces. This is like, that's exactly why I have to be objective, because regardless of any feelings of anybody else, what I should be focused on is amplifying my gains. And so when I'm surrounded by energetics like this, I want to maintain that. So think better of them. And so and like passively in making my focus more about like wise investments, accentuating that, because you don't get like 4 major arcana in your takeaways with the X-ray. So this is like this is not just like any major, like, what do you call it, just the major arcana. We're talking about from destiny onward. So we're not just talking about like the 22 cards. We're like, this is past 10, so 11, let's say. That, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's 4 out of 11 cards. Or wait, no, 4 out of, I guess, 12 cards, right? No. Why is my math not mathing? That's okay. I love myself. I'll humble myself right there. Okay. So we had 10 up until 21. Okay. So that's 11 cards. Okay. I got. Look at that. All right. So there's like a seal of approval here, you know, like certified. I think that's it for now. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much. Thank you for all donations provided in and of light and love that reciprocate equally and therefore abundantly. But now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my power, energy, essence, gifts, strength, passions, properties from those that call upon, cast, generate, bring, magnify, multiply, and or any variation thereof, the aforementioned ill will, intent, thought form, pattern, and or entity to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit for cleansings, for blessings, for reformatting to love and light energy, and to be refortified in me, only me, hassle free, no doubt, and no attachment, except for all bonus bonds included. Thanks so much. Okay, upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due. Oh, and you gotta love this dress. Oh my god, that's so... Well, you know, it's plain, but it's cute. It's one of my lovely black dresses, because the big ass grommets with the lace up in between, the thick ass laces that remind me of, like, you know, like old school, you know, like the fat skater shoes with the fat laces. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with a sequence of rollout and light and love, I close the portals in this reading. Now.